Exodus chapter 40. The tabernacle erected. The Lord spoke to Moses, saying, On the first day of the first month you shall erect the tabernacle of the tent of meeting, and you shall put in it the ark of the testimony, and you shall train the ark with the veil. And you shall bring in the table and arrange it, and you shall bring in the lampstand and set up its lamps. And you shall put the golden altar for incense before the ark of the testimony, and set up the screen for the door of the tabernacle. You shall set the altar of burnt offerings before the door of the tabernacle of the tent of meeting, and the place of the basin between the tent of the meeting and the altar, and put water in it. And you shall set up the court all around, and hang up the screen for the gate of the court. Then you shall take the anointing oil and anoint the tabernacle and all that is in it, and consecrate it and all its furniture, so that it may become holy. You shall also anoint the altar of burnt offering and its utensils, and consecrate the altar, so that the altar may become most holy. You shall also anoint the basin and its stand, and consecrate it. Then you shall bring Aaron and his sons to the entrance of the tent of meeting, and shall wash them with water, and put on Aaron the holy garments. And you shall anoint him and consecrate him, that he may serve me as a priest. And you shall bring his sons also, and put coats on them, and anoint them, as you anointed their father, and they may serve me as priests. And their anointing shall admit to the perpetual priesthood throughout their generations. This Moses did, according to all that the Lord commanded. So he did. In the first month, in the second year, on the first day of the month, the tabernacle was erected. And Moses erected the tabernacle. He laid its bases, and set up its frames, and put in its poles, and raised up its pillars. And he spread the tent over the tabernacle, and put the covering of the tent over it, as the Lord had commanded Moses. He took the testimony, and put it in the ark, and put the poles on the ark, and set the mercy seat above the ark. And he brought the ark into the tabernacle, and set up the veil of the screen, and screened the ark of the testimony, as the Lord had commanded Moses. He put the table in the tent of meeting on the north side of the tabernacle, outside the veil, and arranged the bread on it before the Lord, as the Lord had commanded Moses. He put the lampstand in its tent in the meeting, and opposite the table on the south side of the tabernacle. And he set up the lamps before the Lord, as the Lord had commanded Moses. He put the golden altar in the tent of meeting before the veil, and burned fragrant incense on it, as the Lord had commanded Moses. He put in place the screen for the door of the tabernacle, and set the altar of burnt offering at the entrance of the tabernacle of the tent of meeting, and offered it the burnt offering and the grain offering, as the Lord had commanded. He set the basin between the tent of meeting and the altar, and put water in it for washing, with which Moses and Aaron and his sons washed their hands and their feet. When they went into the tent of meeting, and when they approached the altar, they washed as the Lord had commanded Moses. And he erected the court around the tabernacle and the altar, and he set up the screen of the gate of the court. So Moses finished the work. So, on the first day of the first month, that's when the tabernacle was erected. They anoint the tabernacle and all that's inside it, the altar and basin and the stand. God commands Moses to bring Aaron and his sons, to wash them, to put on the garments, and then anoint them, consecrate them, so that they become priests for the next generations, and it's a generational priesthood. And Moses burnt incense on the altar and on grain offerings on the altar. And he did all that the Lord had asked him, which was just to bring up the tabernacle. The glory of the Lord. Then the cloud covered the tent of meeting, and the glory of the Lord filled the tabernacle. And Moses was not able to enter the tent of meeting, because the cloud had settled on it, and the glory of the Lord filled the tabernacle. Throughout all their journeys, whenever the cloud was taken up over the tabernacle, the people of Israel would set out. But if the cloud was not taken up, they did not set out till the day that it was taken up. For the cloud of the Lord was on the tabernacle by day, and fire was in it by night, and in the sight of all the house of Israel throughout all their journeys. So the cloud covered the tent, and God's glory filled the tabernacle, similar to the cloud that led the people out of Egypt. And when the cloud lifted, people knew that it's our time to leave, and we're going to get out and set out. But when it was there, they were like, nope, we're going to stay put until it leaves. So, verse 38, I'm going to reread that. For the cloud of the Lord was on the tabernacle by day, and fire was in it by night, in the sight of all the houses of Israel through all their journeys. So they could see the cloud in the day, and the fire was in it at night, pretty much lighting it up so people could see that. All right, that is the end of Exodus. Thank you for watching, and it's been a nice journey for this. It's been a hard one. I'm going to take a break for a couple days, but goodbye.